Don't miss out on your chance to win this Defender Outback Mini 2.0 from FTX. On the 27th of June, we're going to have a raffle with all the subscribers, so make sure you subscribe. Then I'm going to ship this car to the lucky winner. So subscribe and it could be you. So let's get back to today's video. On this week's show, we're going to set up the TRX4 suspension for hill climbing. Go, 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 TRX4! Where'd everybody go? In order for me to set up the suspension or just the rear suspension of the TRX4 for hill climbing, I need to swap or change the position or the angle of the rear shock absorber. So what happens on a hill climb? The car goes up, the suspension at the rear gets more weight, goes down and changes the angle, allowing it to flip over a lot sooner. So the natural thing to do is to change the angle the other way around. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. And you don't need any spare parts for this. So if you know you're going to be going out on hill climb or pure hill climb competitions, this is a very easy, simple way that you can get your car more capable. Take this screw out over here. Remove the shock absorber bolt. Release the tension of the spring all the way to the top. Using the same mounting screw, place the shock absorber into that position. Do the same on the other side. Add a bit of tension to the front axle. Make sure that your tension is equal on both sides. In this case, from the top of the bracket, I went down 3.4 centimeters. So that's it. Just a couple of screws, change the position of your shocks, and you're ready to go. Now the car sits a lot higher in the rear, so the front suspension has to be stiffened up just to get the nose a little bit higher off the ground. So with that, once the car starts going uphill, you have a better climbing angle. But will it affect high-speed runs and downhill driving as well? Let's go on the trail and see what happens. high-speed capability wasn't really affected at all, which really surprised me. I thought the car was going to just bottom out and constantly bounce around on the back, but the shocks still absorbed the terrain quite well. On the downhill, because of the big droop the rear suspension has now, I actually thought the car was going to always flip over, but it did it quite well. With tightening the front suspension a little bit more, it just prevents the car from sagging a little bit too much and flipping over. But the hill climbing capabilities have improved quite a lot. The droop of the rear axle just makes it so much easier, changes the angle, and you just notice the car so much more grip. But the TRX4 is so good, even if you change the suspension just for hill climbs, everything else still works perfectly. So your downhill still works, although it looks like it's going to flip over. Just tighten that suspension in the front just a little bit, not too much, just to keep the nose from sagging or the suspension from sagging in, allowing the car to flip over. On the hill climbs, on the other hand, the performance is immensely bigger. But also your high speed runs and your normal rock crawling is not affected by this. So you can still have an all-around car doing a couple of things, set your suspension up if you know you're doing a lot of hill climbing on that day, but knowing in the back of your mind, your car is still going to be performing in all the other categories. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit more because I actually enjoyed this quite a lot today. So that's it from me, my friends. Thanks for watching. Click that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.